The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for the Diagnostic Trading Hour with your host, Darrell Martin. Now, Darrell Martin.
All right, folks, welcome here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. I am your host, Darrell Martin, and let's go ahead and do a market wrap and see where things are at right now. We've had a bit of a volatile day, the S&P falling early in the morning trading hours there, running on down on fears of the fiscal cliff and the tax hikes, and went on down. I was looking for a gap fill trade at first, but I backed off, and but then it moved on down all the way down to -1 deviation level on the diagnostic deviation levels. I was like, hey, let's go ahead and go long on this trade. Hopped on it, went all the way back up and a little bit past all the gaps actually did finally fill after they made that big move down. Everyone moved down a full deviation from yesterday's settlement price there. Moved on back up. And, of course, the big driving factor was Obama coming out and having a little news conference scheduled for 11:30. I think he finally showed up half an hour later. Guess you don't have to show up on time when you're not trying to get reelected again. And anyway, so he comes on out and makes a speech. It's pretty interesting. I don't know if you watch this or not over on C-SPAN or on the White House site. And I mean, he brings up senior citizens and he's like all these friends from around town as if he's playing chess with them on the weekends or something. But he brings all these friends around, has a little speech and says, you know what, we got to figure this out or it's going to affect Christmas and everything else. And he says, we have a proposal that's in the Senate right now. And if the House will just put it through, I'll sign it. And the proposal he has, for the tax part anyway, is they go in and what they're going to do is say the first $250,000 of everybody's income won't see a tax increase. But above that, they'll tax the rich. So if you make $1 million, your $250 won't be increased, but above the $250, you will see an increase. And that'll be fun for the IRS to keep up with that one. But anyways, so that comes out. That's what they're trying to push through now, and basically just trying to get more and more people online. He actually had this whole thing. He wanted to tweet. He said, "Everybody get out there and tweet that we need to do this. We need to pass it." So he said, "Do a tweet with pound." Let's see, what is it? My2K, pound to my2K. So the hashtag pound my2K on Twitter to tell your congressman to get active and put it through. The funny thing is, this won't even cover a week. Especially now that he put it up to 250, it won't even cover a full week, 8 days without the 250 increase thing. But his whole tax hike on the rich, not one full week, okay, of federal spending. So not even, it was 8 days before. Now with his new proposal, it's only going to be 8 days. It could be more like 6 days. So we're talking about this whole battle over the taxes is getting enough money to pay for 6 days of government spending. That's why he wants to tax the rich, to pay for 6 more days. And as if he's going to take that money for those 6 days, and it's really going to make any impact on, the middle class and the poor and everybody else. It's not going to make any impact. It's just going to be 6 days more of additional, we're not going into more debt for those 6 days. But for the other 359 days, well, that's just tough. But, it's amazing. I mean, this whole battle is just a show. And, saying we want to attack the rich and we want to look good and we want to make our constituents happy. And, it doesn't mean anything because, like I said, in reality of all the things, it only covers, 6 to 8 days at most of federal spending. So it has no impact. And it's not a solution. It's not even a Band-Aid. And if anything, it just means more money out of those who create jobs going to those who are trying to find it and not going to those who are trying to find jobs. And going to a government who's not spending it well anyway. So, it's pretty crazy. Republicans may give in on this one, because at least they got the first 250 not covered. But, it's just a show. And most of this stuff is a show, but this is just a ridiculous show that they're putting it all the way to this extreme when it actually has absolutely no real impact on the economy at all. Nobody's saving anybody. Nobody's doing anything grand. And, of course, when they come together, they're going to see, we worked it out. We came together, we made it happen, and you did nothing. You just basically caused a whole lot of frustration for a whole lot of people and accomplished nothing in the end. Anyway, so that's where things are at right now. Markets are sitting up there on their highs. They're basically stalling out at this point. I've been watching it pretty close this morning. I'm sure all you have out there. And went up to about 1404.5, and I just stalled out. But looking on over, the S&P up 4 points right now. We got the Nasdaq up 8. We got the Dow up 58. We got the Russell is up 1.7 at the moment. Gold is down 24 points on the day, just getting crushed. Copper down 0.5%. Silver almost down a full percent. You got corn pretty flat, up a point right now. You got soybeans down 2 points. You got oil down $1 at the moment. And coming off its lows there, it was, let's see here, we got a low right now of 85.36. So, I mean, it was really moving down right now. It's sitting at, looks like 86.19. And so oil getting pretty crushed. And then soybean, or natural gas also, I mean, moving down huge. I mean, natural gas is just getting slaughtered lately. So down 4% or 3.5% right now. And at the moment, and then euro dollar, pretty flat, down 12 pips, pound dollar up 2, Aussie dollar up 27. U.S. yen down 23, U.S. franc down 5, U.S. Canadian down 19, and the bond markets are actually still ticking up a little bit there. So, you know, nothing major happening right there in the currencies. And let's go ahead and look at right now what other announcements we had come out this morning. We had our home price numbers come on out. Pardon me there. And but let's see here. New home sales came out this morning. And they came in at 368,000. The expectation was 387,000. So they came in worse than expected. That continued the market drive down earlier in the morning. And let's go ahead and we'll zoom in. We'll check that one out. Over here. Going in, I'll turn a couple things off. And we'll pull it on up so you can see it for all those watching over on Tiger TV. Where's it at? There we go. Keep turning on every other button except for the one I want. All right. And let's see here. I'll pull this one up. This actually is a little better view to look at. But right now, we're just looking at the market as a whole, and then going in and focusing in on the S&P, and just looking how has the news today affected it. Let's open a clean screen, and we'll get it going. There we go. And from this morning, like I said, it opened up down. It was pretty much heading down all night. We can go through and we can turn on the highlighted session for the after hours trading. And you can sort of see the trend that was going on. And it started heading down last night and then moved on in. And let's see here. Let's go in and we'll do this. There we go. And came in. European session basically came online. Market started trending down right there in the open, pretty much after the gold pits open there. Went ahead and started moving on down. Moved down to a full deviation, a solid deviation level. This is where I was looking to buy. And bought. Market moved on back up, filled in the gap. And but basically we were right here, and then when the new home sales came out, it dropped more, and that pushed it right to that deviation level. Then it pulled back. The White House announced there was going to be a press conference. It kept pulling up, and then we all got to wait for about half an hour for him to actually decide to come on and make a speech. Once he made his speech, as he started talking, the market was declining, and then Then basically he started sounding really optimistic, and the market started pulling on back up. And it went after he got off stage. It actually did rise, which is pretty much the same that happened last time. He hops on, he talks, market drops, he walks off stage, market rises. Seems to be an odd trend going on with the Obama speeches. Sell into the speech and buy after the speech. And just a new way to trade the news. But as he talks, the market drops. As he walks, the market goes up. So that might be foretelling of the next 4 years, or 4 years from now. Anyways, but as we look, the market rises on up there, and you can see it just right now it's basically just stalling out, not doing a whole lot at the moment, not a whole lot of strong volume in either direction. And that is our S&P for the day. And like I said, this morning we had the new home sales come on out worse than expected. Crude oil inventories came in lower than expected. And so if we check that out, usually when inventories come out, you're going to see a big bump. We did see that bump. That's normal right there. So now, of course, they are down from yesterday. There was a big decline. But once, as you can see right there, once the inventory report came out and showed that inventories were lower than they expected them to be, then they came in at negative 0.3 million. They thought they'd be at 0.5 million. So lower supply, higher cost, price moved on up, and basically filled in the, not quite, but worked on trying to fill in that gap from yesterday. And we can see the gap would have been right, there. And so moved about half a deviation back on up, and then just, hung out for a little while. Let's see, we got the Obama speech, we got the net lending. That's not a big deal for the pound, a little bit of an impact on the pound dollar. We'll go check that out right here. And we can see that report came out for the pound at noon. And so not too long ago, right here, did not have just a massive impact, but did see a little increase in the pound. And the number came in worse than expected, though, despite all that. So that's more the market driving, the dollar down than it is the pound driving the dollar down. And looking on over, we had the S&B chairman over at the Swiss National Bank. He came out and he talked today. And let's see, he came out at 12:15. And so let me go ahead and pull that up for you. And you can see sort of as he started talking, what started happening. Again, he talked at 12:15. And so that right here, he starts talking. And Swiss franc pulls on down. Right now it's sitting flat at 93.01. And so, solidly a potential buy here. We'll see how the market goes. But if the market decides to drop at this point, then that should give the dollar a little strength. It could be a good buy off of basically a support resistance area there and also a deviation level there. Looking on in, we got the beige book coming out at 2 o'clock. Shouldn't be just a major event, but nevertheless, it is coming out at 2 o'clock. That comes from the Federal Reserve. And if you want that link, just hop on over to federalreserve.gov, and you'll be able to see under monetary policy, and then you'll see the link beige book. So federalreserve.gov, monetary policy, beige book. And that report will come out, and basically it has an expectation on the market. It has 8 weeks, or 8 times per year that it comes out, and it comes out 2 weeks before every FOMC meeting. And this is the analysis that was used by the FOMC to make basically it's the analysis that's used by the FOMC to make their next decision on interest rates. Usually, though, it doesn't have just a massive impact because there are 2 other books that are not made public. There's a green book and there's a blue book. And they have a lot bigger impact on the rate decision. And again, those are not made public. Only the beige book is. Why it's out there, I have no idea. But it is out there. And, so the market will look for clues in it. But it's usually pretty a mild impact. It's the green book and the blue book, which we don't get to see. The hidden books that really had the big impact on the Federal Reserve's decision. And basically it just has, information in it. Job reports, analysis, funds, worldwide, all sorts of stuff. Basically just a lot of financial information where they make their monetary decisions based on what's in those 3 books. And then, let's see, later tonight we got the private capital expenditures coming out for the Aussie dollar at 7:30 p.m. And let's see here, 7:30. So that way, that's an Aussie dollar trade for you. Definitely be checking that one out, 7:30 tonight. And for any of you Aussie dollar traders or you part-time traders that are looking for some trades to hop in on in the evening. And we'll go a little bit further. We'll check out what's going on tomorrow so you can be ready for that. We do have the GDP quarter over quarter coming out for the Swiss franc at 1:45 a.m. in the morning, Eastern time there. And so that could be a good Swiss franc trade for you. And let's see here. We're going on over. We'll check out the Bank of England governor is going to speak tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. So stay right there, folks. Come on back. We'll finish out the week, and then we'll go into the deviation, see what other play setups may be here for you today.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportions of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what an asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Wealth Management financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, LLC. Member SIPC.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Darrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Master Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
All right, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. I am your host, Darrell Martin. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. And we got 1-877-927-6648. And when you're trading in these kind of times, and we got... Obviously, last week, a little bit difficult time to trade. You know, this week, a little bit difficult to trade. Why? Because volume goes lower the week before and after a holiday. So always keep that in mind. And when you do trade with limited risk at all times, but especially during holiday season times. And then when there's things like this, like the fiscal cliff going on. I mean, you had the market up yesterday, going great, and then they got to come out and talk, and boom, thing drops. So you never know when those little announcements are going to come out, especially when they're so time sensitive. And if you haven't already, hop on over to TFNN.com. and click on Nadex. Once you click on Nadex, then you'll be able to hop in here, and you'll be able to get a lot of cool things they got going on. You can even refer people to Nadex and all sorts of things. But hop on over to Nadex, click on Create Account. And then within 5 minutes, you can go from start to funded in as little as 5 minutes. And it only takes $100 to fund an account. You can actually trade the S&P, the Dow, gold. You can go and you can trade the euro dollar. So there's all these different trades that you can trade like you're trading them now, but with limited risk, less money, less margin. You can't get stopped out. So I don't know if you've hopped over there yet, but if you trade any futures, any of the futures markets that they cover, or if you trade any of the Forex markets, or if you trade ETFs on those markets, then you definitely want to keep that in mind is, hey, how can I trade with limited defined risk? How can I maximize my leverage? And looks like we've got a caller on the line right now. We got, let's see here, we got Johnny from Toronto. How's it going, man?
Hey, good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing? You're doing good.
You mentioned natural gas getting killed the last couple of days, and I just wanted your opinion because I actually bought 5,000 shares of HND in Toronto. So Horizon Norman David is the symbol. I don't know if you can come up with it over there.
HND in Toronto.
Yeah.
I don't think I got it on this platform. I do have another platform I can check out and see if it's on there.
Horizon's Beta Pro. It's a NYMEX natural gas. It's a bear. It basically goes up when natural gas goes down.
Okay. All right.
So
let me open a chart. I'm going to see if I can open a chart on my other platform.
Yeah, if you go to Yahoo Finance, it's hnd.to.
All right, 1 second here. I'll pull it up.
I actually follow it on Yahoo.
Oh, did you say HNDTO?
No, HND, and then you got .to, period, TO, if you're on Yahoo Finance. Okay. If you want to go up to Yahoo Finance and check it out. The Canadian stocks have a period and then the symbols TO.
All
right after
pull this up right here. Yeah, not loading on that one. So I'll probably go Yahoo Finance, see if I get it on there.
Yeah, on Yahoo Finance, it's hnd.to, and it's trading at 346 right now. It's up over 6% today, and I got in a couple of days ago, or actually, no, maybe 3 or 4 days ago at 307, and I'm just thinking about dumping it right here.
When'd you get in?
307.
Nice. So you got these last two massive moves that just happened.
Yeah, exactly. This is like Christmas coming early for me. I usually hold on to my losers, and I dump my winners really fast. So I'll take a $300 profit, and I'll take a $3,000 loss. So if this is something worth holding on to, I'd rather just hold on to it. That's why I'm calling you.
Well, I definitely would. I'd at least take part of your profits right now.
Okay.
Just because you're gonna be. There's nothing worse. I'm not sure one of the worst feelings is a winner turning into a loser.
Oh, it's happened many times. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things I always do is if I'm really up on a trade, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna take part of my profits on that trade immediately. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I basically have a target goal. I'd have to pull up a different kind of chart on here, but and let's see if he'll do it for me. There we go. Yeah. Let me open high-low close, and then show me some days. So yeah, if you're doing a reversal pattern on this, you'd be right about at a take profit level right now for part of it, and then I would set my stop at break even on the other half.
Okay.
Okay. Because there is definitely room for this thing. To move all the way up to easily about 370, 380.
Yeah.
Okay. And so just looking at that right there, looking at the last high volume right here, looks like it looks about 350 was the last big high volume bar we had. And so that would probably be the next goal if it was going to keep, if natural gas is going to keep going like it is.
Right.
But as you know, it's been just falling like crazy.
Yeah. And I had bought UNG about 2 months ago around 19 and a quarter, and held it for a good month before I sold it at about $20. And I was just wondering now, do I just go the other way? So I picked this up. I am from Toronto, so
there you go.
I bought this in Canadian dollars.
That's the way to do it, man. That's awesome. It'll definitely take some profits and set the other half to break even is what I want.
Well, thanks for your advice.
Hey, you bet.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Be right back after this break.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've seen him on Tiger TV, as well as being featured as a regular CNBC guest and contributor, and now you can have access to his expert trading advice each morning through his daily trading newsletter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading stocks, options, and indices every market day. Market Insights comes out each market day before 9:30 a.m. and provides traders with Tom's daily commentary, opinion, and specific trade recommendations on the markets. Using advanced Fibonacci methods, volume indicators, Gartley patterns, candlestick charting, gaps, and market timing, Market Insights will give you specific trade recommendations including entry, stop, and exit prices. The summer is over and traders are back. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now. Darrell Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Darrell Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
All right, folks, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour, where people learn how to maximize leverage, minimize risk, and be one step ahead of the markets. And so right now we got the market still just hanging out and basically staying pretty flat. Not a whole lot of movement going on right now. Don't have a big expectation unless some other news announcement comes out that we're going to see a whole lot of movement from here on any of the markets. And so it's a good time to hop in and talk about, how could you make plays. Yesterday we talked a little about the box spreads. Let's go into another example. And what I'll do is, let's see here. I will pull up this over here for you. And let's see here. We'll go in, close that out. All right, so let me move this over. And this is Nadex. So once you signed in, get access. This is a demo. You can also go directly into live. They'll be pretty similar, a little bit different, but almost the exact same. So here's a live account. The only difference is sometimes the strikes will be a little bit different on some of the choices if they did like an update on the demo platform or something. And the other thing that can change is since people can place any kind of demo trade they want, then that could affect the market because it could be making a demo market where somebody's putting an order they wouldn't normally place. Besides that, those two pieces, it's the same thing. And so you can open a live account with literally less than, or actually with $100. You can get a live account, charts, platform, everything hooked up and ready to go. And it looks like we have another caller on the line. Let's go ahead and take him right now. Let's see. Who do we got? We got Bob from Cheshire, Connecticut. How's it going, man?
Things are good. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
I am short Apple, and we had a nice gap open on the bottom today, and wanted to get your thoughts on it. Had another news source that saw on a weekly chart a head and shoulders formation, and wanted to get your thoughts.
You got a potential. I mean, were they looking at, I guess, this being the left shoulder, right shoulder, the lower possible shoulder for a move down? Is that what they're looking at right now?
Yeah, on a weekly.
Yeah, so we haven't really had the breakdown on the weekly yet. So they're trying to hop in a little bit early, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my personal opinion is I'm pretty bearish on Apple at the moment. But it's because I think they've come out with all their new toys. I mean, I love Apple. I have an iMac, I have an iPad, I have an iPhone. But, the visionary's gone, So, but looking over,
a lot of insider selling, too. A lot of heavy insider selling.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Steve's gone. And, the last product they just released, the Mini, I think it's the first time we've seen Apple, at least in a long time, if not the first time ever, release a copy product. So, I mean, they're copying, Kindle, basically is who they're copying. So, I mean, that's not the greatest sign. And as far as getting inside the TV market, they have these ideas for Apple TV. Whatever it is, it's really not going to be anything revolutionary. Really, Microsoft owns that market. So they already had the Xbox out there and, very cheap price. I mean, I think they had a big, you could buy them for like $150 this past weekend. So I think they're starting to lag behind. I mean, now they're still trading way under their earnings value. So I mean, that's a bullish thing for them. But, I mean, fundamental reports are nice. But at the end of the day, it's, what are the traders going to do with the actual stock? Where'd you go short at?
I shorted yesterday around 3:30, so the price on that was $5.85, something like that.
Okay, so you're right back at pretty much where you shorted right now, just about $1 away.
Yeah.
Did you take off any of that on the big gap open?
Unfortunately, no.
Always easy to look back and see that, isn't it? It's like, well, now that you say it, no, I didn't.
Yeah, I think I'm close to break even about that. So.
Okay, well, that's still not a bad point to be. You can't complain about that.
But I think I hang on for a couple of weeks and, let the market be scared by the fiscal cliff and everything else and, just ride
Where's your stop loss at? Do you have you set your stop yet?
Yeah, it's 7% above, yesterday's up 5.85, yeah.
Okay, all right. So you got that in place. I mean, as long as you always want to have that in place. And as long as you're comfortable with the risk, and I guess you based your the number of shares you did based on the percentage you're risking, right?
Yeah, and if that head and shoulders thing comes out, I got my target, at 3-to-1, so I think I'm doing all right.
Okay. My personal opinion is it's probably going to go up. Just to, I know what you want to hear.
Yeah. I'm screwed if I get a special dividend or something, but.
Yeah. Well, the reason that I think it may go, I mean, the talk today sounded like there's news that came out from the Wall Street Journal and some other things where the White House is willing to bend, and that's that whole thing I was talking about earlier where the first $250,000 of everybody's income doesn't go up.
Yeah.
And they're looking at an extension on the whole fiscal cliff to give the new Congress time to come in. And even Boehner came on and he was saying, hey, I think there's a way that we can work this out. And I think that's why the market's running up right now, is they actually do expect an actual resolution now. So, it won't happen probably tomorrow, but, it could happen. It could happen Friday or Monday. And so that's really, I think that's your biggest danger, is as soon as they solve that thing, and they're going to put something out. So it's not going to be something that everybody's going to like, I guarantee you that, but they're going to put something out just to make everybody feel better. And when that comes out, the market's probably going to go into its seasonal rally. And right now Friday should be a bearish day, like seasonally. It's the last trading day of the month is a down day.
Yeah.
So that might also be sort of your target, is maybe like trying to trade it into Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
Because usually the market does fall. I think like 15 out of the last 19 of November's. Last trading day of November has been a bearish day. So if you can get it to that point, but I'd say sort of, you always want to have a time stop on a trade too. You don't just want to have a trade that's just sitting there on you,
Good point, yeah. So maybe if it doesn't work out by Friday, get out or something.
Yeah, look at, for the end of the day Friday, and if you don't see that bearish tendency on Friday, then I'd be very nervous. So,
all right.
But I'd definitely take some, probably take some profits off on Friday, because what you don't want to happen is, this big gap we had like today on Apple.
Yeah.
You don't want that to happen on Monday, because they come out with a resolution on Sunday, and the thing gaps up on you, and goes past your stop.
You're very optimistic about these politicians. I think they'll drag it out until they're absolutely.
I don't think it's going to be clean. I just think there's going to be something. So
yeah.
I think they're pretty much all useless right now, and I think the American people as a whole basically voted in another stagnant Congress. So
yeah.
But I mean, just what I saw come out of Boehner's mouth. I mean, we're actually seeing like consistent positive, and I could actually see the Republicans agreeing to the across the board first $250,000 doesn't see a tax increase. I can see that being a realistic agreement that they would make.
Oh, I agree. The taxes are going up.
I was listening for any little clues, and as soon as I heard that, I'm like, oh, wow, he could probably get the Republicans to agree to that, because then that sounds at least fair to everybody. Yeah. Fair and equal aren't the same thing, but anyway.
They need to raise the age on Social Security and take away the COLA. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of things they need to do, but they don't have the cojones to do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's until you're in Greece's situation, you don't start doing anything. So
yeah,
because it's never popular, and you're gonna have riots and people all upset, and no politician on either side is willing to do that. And so that's the situation.
All right, so maybe I'll cover by Friday if I don't get some nice action out of it.
Yeah, if you get some, and also if you do get some, if let's say it does pull down, take some of it off at least. So that way you don't have that whole thing on and have a possible gap up on Monday that could knock you out. So
all right,
man. Well, you have a great day, and I hope it works out well for you.
You too. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem.
Bye.
All right, well, that was Bob from Cheshire, Connecticut, and appreciate you calling in. Anytime y'all got any questions, feel free to give me a call. And I know I'm always talking about Nadex and everything, but all the markets, to me, basically work the same. So you just got to look at all the different pieces that are put together. And feel free to give me a call at 877-927-6648. And, one of the things, we're talking about right there was just, looking at trades and having your stops and your stop losses and everything else. And this is more of a longer-term trade, obviously. But for those who are looking for, maybe like up to 1 week trades, things like that, then you can check out, they actually have binary spreads over on Nadex. And a lot of people have never heard about what a binary is. They have binaries and they have spreads over on Nadex, and they don't know what binaries are. And binaries you can actually trade on a weekly time frame. So you can go in them on Monday and trade them all the way through Friday. And so it can actually give you the ability to have a longer-term trade that you put on for your trading analysis and everything else, and you don't have to worry about getting stopped out. And that's probably the number one reason why I love trading on Nadex is my risk is defined. I'm getting insanely massive leverage, okay? And like we were talking about yesterday, one of the examples, we were putting up less than $100 to control over $70,000 to control an S&P contract. And same thing on the Russell, stuff like that. So you can go in there and you control a lot of money with very little money. And again, you can't get stopped out. The binaries, you can do the same thing. So let's look at what these binaries are. And, not all binaries are the same. I want to warn you right now, okay? Not all binaries are the same. And the CFTC is actually going in and shutting down a lot of the binary companies that are overseas and basically saying, hey, you cannot any longer, they just shut up one the other day. Actually, yesterday it came out. I'm in trade. And they shut them down and said you can't have U.S. customers anymore. And so by December 31st, they have to basically, liquidate all U.S. client accounts. And they're saying they're going to try to go in and get regulation and approval to get back, and they're not going to get it. And the reason is a lot of these binary companies have these games that they do. They go in and they'll pay like if I referred you to certain binary companies, and Nadex doesn't do this, but if I referred you to certain binary companies, they literally pay out like 20% of your deposit within 3 seconds to me for referring you after I referred you over. And, come on, how 20% of your deposit went away 3 seconds after you put it in? That ought to be a clue. And Nadex is an exchange. It's not a bucket shop like these ones that do this, like Binaries, stuff like that do things like that. So beware of that. Also, some other things that they do is they'll go in and they'll pay out, like, say, 70 or 80% on a winning trade. They make it sound great. 80% payout, which means 100% loss. Okay? So when you win, you make $80. When you lose 100. And other ones, there's one of the companies that says, we have an office in New York. And no, they don't. They have a mailing address in New York. So always check on that. And if they say they have an office, say, well, hey, I'm going to be in New York tomorrow. Can I go ahead and stop by your office and to see how it looks? and they'll start dancing. And then, is your money, if their office is in New York, is your money in a bank in New York, right? No, it's not going to be. They're going to be telling you to send it overseas somewhere. That's the big litmus test, is where is the money held? You want your money inside the United States. So a lot of these are overseas. And, I can literally go on with about 15 different reasons why you don't want to trade binaries at bucket shops. If you're in the U.S., the only place that I recommend is Nadex. And if you're outside the U.S., the only place I recommend is IG Markets. IG actually owns Nadex. And they are a publicly traded company on the FTSE 250. They brought in something like, 340 or 80 million or something like that so far this year in trading revenue. And I think they're up like 100 million something. And so they're a massive company. You can check out all the financials on their website. But they're a massive company. They're not fly-by-night. They're here to stay. They're growing. They're regulated. IG being regulated over, the London Exchange, and then Nadex being regulated over here by the CFTC. So, you got some solid companies that you're trading with. Don't go with the risk. I have one guy that sent me an email and saying, hey, I really want to do binaries on stocks. And because you can do binaries on Apple and stuff like that. But when you do it, you're going to be doing it overseas. Your money's going to be out there, okay? And they're going to pay out part of your money to somebody else for referring you. And so that money's going to be gone. And then they're only going to pay you like 70 or 80%, maybe 90% best case scenario when you win, but you're going to lose 100% when you lose. So you have to be right a lot more often than you're wrong. And it doesn't matter. If you want to trade stocks, you don't want to trade on binaries overseas, okay? Now, if you're into ETFs and things like that, you could trade them through Nadex because they follow the S&P 500 futures, which is like the spiders, right? The ETFs, the SPX index. They have a little bit different pricing, but they're almost the exact same. So you got the spiders, the SPX options, the S&P 500 futures, the S&P 500 future options. Instead of trading those, you could literally go over and trade with less money, more margin, and not get stopped out trading the US 500 spread, which follows the S&P 500 futures, and it makes life a lot easier. So what are, now that we got the whole, warning out of the way, what are these Nadex binaries? What are they? How do they work? What do you do with them? How can you make money with them? Et cetera, on down the list. Well, let me pull up the platform over here, and we'll go through it. Okay, so we're in here right now, and let's say we're looking at a trade. One of the trades I was looking at earlier was actually buying the U.S. franc. Okay, and let's see, it's already went up about $20, not bad. But went in on this trade right here at $50, and now it's up to $75. So it's already made a 50% return on the investment. And I am looking for it to go up. I'm actually going to be holding this one to expiration is my expectation. And here's what it is. It's really, really simple, okay? And these are very simple to understand. They're a little more complicated to trade than the spread. The spreads are more like your regular trading. So if you're a trader, you're going to love the spreads. If you want to try something new, try the binaries. They're very cool. They're very fast. You can trade them in flat markets. The market can move 2 ticks, and you could double your money. So it's pretty cool. But it can also move 2 ticks in the other direction. You could lose what you put up. So it works both ways. But you're never doing like more than $100. When we come back, I'm going to show you exactly how this one trade works and what it will take for it to be profitable. So you'll have at least one example how the binaries work. They'll be right back after this break.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to check out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
All right, folks, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And so we're going over what a binary is and looking at it. And so we got 9320, we got 9300, these two different strikes right here. And one of the trades that I'll do, I usually do an 11 a.m. trade on different markets. And so if we go in and we check it out right here, what we can see, and I'll zoom in, you know, if I want to get, say, an in the money, okay, strike, I can go in here, and what I'm saying is when I pick a trade, if I buy it, I'm saying this statement over here is true. If I'm selling it, I'm saying the statement is false. So what do I mean true and false? Well, USD franc will be greater than a certain price by this time. That means true. Meaning I think the USD franc will be greater than 0.9200. All right? Or if I said false, that means I think the USD franc will be less than or equal to 0.9200 at 3 p.m. Now, I don't have to hold it to expiration. That is an option. Okay? But it's basically the trade right there is what you're saying if you buy or sell. So if I go over here, let's say at 11 a.m., I was looking for the in the money option. Then what I could see right here, let's see, let's maximize this. Make it a little easier for us to see. And if I want to do the in the money option, meaning it's already true. Okay, so that's sort of like if I'm buying an in the money option, I'm buying a statement that's already true. Then the opening price was 0.9320 at 11 a.m. And so if I go over here and go, okay, well, so if I want to buy the in the money option, the one that's already true, would that be the 0.9320 or the 0.9300? Well, if I say true, I'm saying it is greater than 0.9320. All right. Well, if the USD franc is at 0.9320, then this statement is not true. It is not greater than. It's equal to. So it's false. So that makes that strike out of the money. And then this strike right here is 0.9300. Well, is it greater than 0.9300? Yes, that statement is true. So if I want to buy the in-the-money strike, the closest in-the-money strike, I'd buy the 0.9300. All right, and what happens if you're right? Okay, well, if you're right on the trade, which means if the statement is what you say it is, if it's true, if you say it's going to be true, or if it's false, if you say it's going to be false, then you win. So if I go in here and I buy this, and at, we'll say, 3 o'clock, the USD franc is greater than 0.9300, then the trade is profitable. Okay? But if it's lower than 0.9300, then the trade loses. So I put in $50 on this trade. So as long as it's greater than 0.9300 at 3 o'clock, then the trade will be profitable. So I have about an hour left, and it's just flexing around, and it's really a perfect point right there. It's sitting at a resistance point and everything else, and it's about 5-6 ticks above it. We'll see. So it's $50 risk to make a $50 profit here in the next couple, really in the next hour at this point. Right now it's quite a bit above that. It's already up to $83, and we can actually check it out and see exactly where it's sitting at. Yeah, $84.50. So if you bought at 50, it'd be at $84.50 right now. So you've made quite a bit of profit on it. So you could close it out right now if you wanted to at $84.50. You can close it whenever you want to. And there's different strikes. You could choose different ones, different times. There's different ways you can trade them. But if you get down this basic thing, okay, they're always worth $100. All right? Always worth $100. And the statement is a true-false statement. If you buy it, you're saying the statement's true. If you're selling it, the statement is false. All right? So those are the two main things. And the third thing is you can buy and then you can sell before it closes. You don't have to hold to expiration. If it's out of the money, you always want to close before expiration. If it's in the money, often you're going to be holding it to expiration. And but that's just a quick review of binaries. We'll go over some more details on our future shows, but they're a lot of fun and a very cool way to trade. Check them out. Go to TFNN.com and open a Nadex account today. Again, you can go in and you can even open a demo account under our products demo account. And fill in your information right there. You get started on it right away. And, of course, let me know with any questions that you have. I'll be happy to answer for you. So have a great day. And stay tuned here. We'll have another show coming right up for you right after this break.
Let me tell you something, folks. I have people coming up to me saying, I just can't believe the amount of work that Steve does on his newsletter. And I says, I absolutely agree.
That is a recent clip from the Money Masters show that Tom and I do each day at TFNN. My newsletter service, Mastering Probability, is much, much more than a newsletter. Yes, it's outperformed the S&P 500 by 100% during the last 15 months. But more importantly, it's an extraordinary education, a roadmap for your success. And it's yours risk-free for the next 30 days. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and then Mastering Probability, because everyone needs a success strategy. For most, it's a competitive edge, the will to win, the drive to overcome any obstacle. Whatever you call it, winners find a way. Find your way to Mastering Probability today, because your journey to extraordinary rewards is just one click away.